Oh, oh no, I messed this up. I was not meaning to go live. This is supposed to start at 2:30. I'm actually experimenting with going a little bit earlier because it seems like the time I was doing, which was 3:30 here in California Pacific time, was not working for a lot of the people that I was communicating with. So I'm trying a little bit earlier in the day to see how this works. I guess today I jumped the gun a bit because it's not even 2 o'clock, but that's okay. People roll in a little bit late. I want to thank everyone that comes to these live videos, either live to chat and to talk to me, or the people that are watching the playback. I really appreciate it. I know you don't know who I am. I know you're just taking a chance at a thumbnail, so I really thank you for checking out my channel. My name is Alyssa, and my channel is SuperCaliListic. And I'm basically a California girl that loves to make videos. I've been online since 2009 making videos, trying to figure out, what will be fun and entertaining and to show you guys what I think is super Cali. Just basically my commitment is to have like really good vibes and super Cali love, and yeah, if you love California, definitely subscribe to my channel to get more. I'm really trying to rock it. Like about a month ago, I was just like, I want to do this full time. So I've been producing a lot more content and just trying to figure it out as I go, what people like to watch, what I like to make. Some videos that I posted this week, I posted a morning routine, which I actually found a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. People make morning routines look so simple, but my lighting was not great. I don't have lights, so I wasn't thrilled with the product, but I cut it together the best that I could and shared it. So if you want to check out that, if you're into morning routines, I'll put the link in the... Oh, so the thing I want to talk about first, which is like the thumbnail to this video, is my mom came to visit me on Mother's Day, and we went to Knott's Chicken to Go. It was a lot of fun, but you are required to wear a mask in public here in California, even if you're just picking up something to go. So we all have these homemade masks. My sister-in-law, Grace, actually made these. My mother-in-law, Pam, she's made over 150. So I think a lot of people, at least here in America, have these homemade masks, and they basically have 4 tassels. And my kids, these are their only mask right now. So I go out with my kids, I have to put these on. They really don't like it. One of the really heated topics of discussion here in the United States, at least, is the CDC is saying that kids 3 and over need to be wearing a mask if they're going to school or they're going out in public. I don't know what will actually happen, because those of us that are parents, we know that a 3-year-old kid is going to be touching, grabbing, throwing themselves on the floor. This is not easy. Kids do adjust to things pretty well, I think even more so than adults. However, my kids were not thrilled. They did do it, and I have to say this technique that I came up with really helped. So like if their mask started to fall, I could really easily just prop it back up on them without having to retie the mask. So I'm gonna go through it live, and if you want just the shortened, condensed version of just how to tie these fabric masks, I'll put, I usually put all the links and the timestamps in these videos. It takes me about 24 hours. Right now I'm up in the Sierra Nevadas, the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas at my family's citrus ranch. So I'm out here, and we do have internet, but it seems that the upload has been slow. And last week's video, the whole time you could hear my voice, but every once in a while, like every 10 seconds, the image would freeze for a couple of seconds. And I feel like every time it froze, I was like, like that. So I hope it works today. I have no idea until people start to pop in here. I have my computer here. It is a 2008 MacBook Pro. Hi, Vanessa! Yay! So I completely jumped the gun, and I started like way too early. I was gonna go get a drink. I had this like watermelon drink that I was gonna do with lime juice and the whole thing. And I was like just pulling this up to like get it set up, and I accidentally hit live. So I'm just going with it. I don't know if you saw it, but I made a video about how to tie these fabric masks. So a lot of people are making these. This one's really lovely. My sister-in-law made it. And the problem is my kids and I, we don't love like tying them around our heads like this, right? They slip. I have a pretty narrow head. It just falls off. It messes up my hair. I don't really want to go out and be like fiddling with my hair and my mask all day, taking it off and on to eat. So I came up with a way to knot it that's super simple, and it's been working really well. My mom has been wearing her mask that her neighbor made her out in her small town, and she says it's just working great. So basically you take it and you have to measure it to your face, but you want to like pinch it right behind your ear. So you move your hair out of your way if you've got hair, and you pinch it where you want it. And then when you kind of have a rough idea of where you want that knot, you make a really loose knot with the 2 strands. I don't know if you guys can see this right now. Vanessa, will you tell me if it's last week it was really freezing a lot? And then you make a little knot with the 2 strands, and then you do the same thing on the other side. And sometimes you have to adjust it, so make the first knot nice and loose, so if you need to tighten it up. And then what you do, when you got both sides knotted like this, I already did this one, it only took me a couple minutes. You slip it onto your ear, like this. Get it into a position that feels comfortable. It doesn't really pull on your ears because, I mean, if you do it too tight, it will, but just loosely resting, just like a pair of sunglasses. And then you pull your hair up. I've got a little clip here so I can put my hair up like this. I think Vanessa's, oh man, yeah, it did that last week too. What a bummer. I don't think people want to watch the playback if it's freezing all the time, but I don't think there's anything I can do. I loosely knot it in the back, like nice and loose. It doesn't have to be that tight. I don't know if you guys can see that. Nice and loose, just to get it. And then you can do your hair however you want to do it. And then, like, if you need to eat, you can just pull it down like that. Or if, like, you're at a restaurant where they want you to put it in a bag, you can untie it and put it in a bag, but at least you still have the ear rest right in position. The only time you'd have to adjust it is when you wash your mask, like if you wash and dry. So, that's that. Oh my gosh, I'm so bummed that this is freezing again. What a bummer. Anyways, so, you know, you can get it just how you want it. And that's that. And rest it down. And this is great for kids because, like my son, his was falling off, and all I had to do was just tuck it up behind his ear. I didn't have to touch his face. I didn't have to, you know, redo the knots. It didn't take that long, so he wasn't complaining about it. So I did make a video about it. I don't know if people will find it, but I thought, you know, there's so many of these masks out there that people made and put so much effort into it. And then I'd hate for people not to wear them because they're just uncomfortable or cumbersome. So I think this is a really good solve. I've been calling it my fabric mask life hack because I guess people know what that is, and you know, that's what it is. It's not something that I think many people know to do. I think most people just tie it around their heads. I am tempted to try to move to see if I can get better reception. What a bummer. I don't know if Vanessa's still there. If you can let me know if it's still freezing every couple of seconds. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let me unplug this. Just a sec, you guys, while I try to figure this out. Because I did start a little early anyway. Okay. Let's see. I don't think it's going to get any better, but this is... I'm still... Hi, Vanessa. Good. You're still here. I need you. I need you today to help me. I hope you're available. I thought maybe I'd get some, like, privacy back here because my kids are, you know, in the main part of the house. This is looking off the patio, and there's this, like, lovely loquat tree right here I've been picking. I didn't really know anything about loquats before I started picking them, but it turns out they only bloom, the fruit is only ripe like a couple weeks of the year, so it's kind of hard to find loquats, but they're really good for you. They have a lot of vitamin A and fiber. And Vanessa, I couldn't believe it. I don't know, is it any better out here? Can you guys hear me? Am I freezing? Oh, the door just swung open. My grandpa's here. So this was my grandparents' bedroom when they lived here. My late grandparents. This is their house. So far, so good. Okay, good. I don't know if I'm gonna have to stand like a newscaster. I might maybe I can bring a chair out here. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe it's better out here. I don't know. You can let me know, Vanessa. Anyways, so, yeah, this was their home, and here we are. It's in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and it's really been very nice. It's warm again. We had a little bit of like a thunderstorm, lightning storm a couple of days ago. It was exciting. We were watching Frozen 2 with the kids, or were we listening to the music? I don't know, but like right when Elsa, like, you know, in that moment, no, it was Frozen 1, when she like freezes Anna's heart and there's this big blast. Like right when that happened in the music, there was this huge lightning flash across the sky. I was like, did you guys see that? It was like exactly the same time. And it turns out my uncle and my cousin were watching Frozen 2 and like at the same time, and it all was happening at the same time. So it was kind of like mystical lightning storm that blew through. It was really fun. Vanessa, how am I doing? Am I freezing? Should I do this out here? I don't know. I don't know what the lighting looks like. I can't really see you guys because it's so sunny out here, but I think I can make this work. Maybe I can pull like a chair out. I'm gonna go shut the door just because my dad and my stepmom are here and Jesse's working. I've only frozen once, like frozen. Okay, wait just a sec. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. Let me try. I might have to do some adjusting, so thank you guys for your patience. Okay. Oh, Vanessa, thank you so much for coming by. How is it going for you? This has been such an interesting time of our lives. I feel like we're living through something that has not been a challenge for hundreds of years, literally. I don't know if I'm gonna... I was gonna show you guys my other lens, but I don't know. I wanted to talk about my lens and like all that stuff. Let me lower this a bit because I'm in a lower chair now. Okay. I'll put this down. It's been weird. Yeah, I went to Trader Joe's today and it felt like the most normal thing I've done in forever. Well, that's good. I haven't been to Trader Joe's in so long. I wonder what I want to show you. The ugly bed thing back there? Whatever, who cares? I'm at the ranch. It's just, what's beautiful out here is nature. That's what, okay. And it's hard for me to tell the frame. My computer isn't working. It's literally not starting, so that's awesome. Yeah, I haven't been to Trader Joe's since this started. I haven't been to Target. My husband's doing all the shopping, which is great because it's just not fun for me. But I'm ready to go out and like get things that maybe he wouldn't think of. Yeah, so have you been getting your groceries delivered? Is that how you do it right now? I wonder. Thank you again. Honestly, I'm going to thank you like 10 times because the internet's not great out here. I don't even know what to talk about because there's a lot happening and a lot has happened. You've been doing Instacart. Yeah, a lot of people I know. I mean, that makes sense, right? To get your groceries delivered. I'm just going to shut this. Yeah, I'm really torn about like what to talk about in these live videos. There's just so many things happening, but I feel like it's not like what's even the point, you know? Like you guys, whatever information you need to get, I feel like it's really out there. There's so much, like whatever resources or information. I mean, in a way there's a little bit too much information, but yeah, it's crazy what's happening. But I also feel I'm just trying to stay really calm and really focus on love. This has been such a huge exercise for me. I said this last week of just really exercising my heart center, and like I really am trying to take responsibility for when I'm getting into a darker place and acknowledging it because it's going to happen, and then like really trying to go back to a place of love and peace, which isn't easy. Like last night I had insomnia really bad. We're headed back to Los Angeles soon, and I'm gonna miss out here. We don't have to wear masks. We're isolated, and we would wear them like if we go to the grocery store. Oh, today I'm going with Jesse and my dad. They're golfing because the golf courses have opened up again. So like if I go into the pro shop or whatever check-in, I'll probably wear a mask. We're in Tulare County, and I guess we made like national news today because here they're not necessarily following all of the rules that have been put in place by our governor in California. So there's a bit of a controversy about that. However, me being from Los Angeles, I just really want to do my part to just make sure I'm doing the right thing. It's not hard to put a mask on. And as much as I don't like it, I feel like there's a lot of people out here that are retirees, and there are cases of COVID-19 here in Springville and in Visalia. I think it's worse there because it's more populated, and so I don't want to be like, I get why people are like, oh, I'm not doing that. You know, you can't tell me what to do. Like, I totally get that instinct. But at the same time, it's me as an adult, it's like not hard for me to put on a mask and just do it and just feel like at least in the event, in the like slight chance that I might have it being from Los Angeles, or I don't know. I just think it's like the least I can do, you know? So, so far, like I haven't had to do a lot. Like I can't really complain. My concerns are like in the fall, like what's going to happen with all the kids. Like I'm trying not to think about what school would look like. Yeah, it's like putting on a mask. It's a respectful thing to do. It's an act of kindness, because I think there's a lot of people that are like, I'm not going to do that. And I get why, but like there's a lot of people out here that are retired and vulnerable, and like I'd hate for them to feel unnecessarily exposed if all it took was just a few more people did the right thing for a little bit longer. Where I'm concerned is like what our world looks like a year from now, 2 years from now. So I think those things are out of my control. So I try to not like overreact to something that hasn't happened yet. And I'm getting the kids warmed up to the idea that like if and when Disneyland opens up again, I'm going, and you are wearing masks, and we're going to deal with it. Even if we have to do like 3 hours and then go back to the car, like I can't wait. We keep talking about it, and I think it's going to be a while, but it's something to look forward to, I guess. Anyways, so many things, so many thoughts and feelings, and I don't want to add to like the heaviness of all this, but it is heavy. There's no way around it. Like if say like a war broke out, and you can't just ignore what's happening. You can still stand in a place of love, and you can still maybe not even agree with everything that's happening, but you can't ignore it either. You can't be like, oh, that's not happening, you know? So I feel like it's really important to just really check in with ourselves and stay in a place of love. Don't give in to fear. Come together. Vanessa, we were supposed to do a coffee date. Let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow morning, because I think that's so important. Like some of my favorite moments are like having coffee with you. I had a coffee Zoom with some mom friends, and like we all have a different opinion about how to handle this. But I think it's so important that despite our different opinions, we're coming together and we're still holding up our community, you know? So it's difficult to say the least. And I know some people are suffering more than others. Like I honestly can't complain. I have my family with me. I've been able to see my mother because we've been in quarantine a long time. So I guess we formed a type of quarantine circle between her and my dad and my stepmom now. So I haven't seen my brothers, but we don't all live in the same town, so it hasn't been a strain. I think if I had the chance to see them, I think I would, as long as everyone's well and doesn't have any symptoms. So anyways, that's where we're at. We still haven't done play dates. Like, I was thinking about my kids last night and the fact that they haven't seen their friends for months now. And like, to me, it's not that big of a deal to not see a friend, but for them, like, it's a really big deal, you know? So this is like a big chunk of their lives, and their lives are going to be so incredibly different from mine because this experience in their childhood is so unique to anything that I would have experienced as a kid. So it's not necessarily negative, but it's different. So, and now the CDC released a new set of guidelines for schools, and it can be pretty heavy if you read through it, because I'm like, last night I couldn't sleep. I was picturing the kids that 3 and up wearing masks and sitting at desks 6 feet apart. But my husband and I were talking about it today. These are guidelines. They're not set in stone. I'm not going to really react until I really know, like, what is school going to look like in the fall. I think I'm concerned because we are a city. So I think Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, like some of these urban areas have been hit like so much harder than, say, like out here in Tulare County. Everyone's kind of like, what, nothing's happening, you know? But like, if you're in, there's a wasp right here, like I'm more concerned about that and the scorpions and the rattlesnakes. But if you're in an urban place, like, it's much more drastic, the quarantine and the level of protection that people need to like stop the spread and stuff. So so yeah, I'm concerned. Like, we're in LA Unified. I really feel for kids that don't have parents. Like, I'm the type of parent, I'm like, look, if it's really bad and my barely 5-year-old daughter like can't handle being at school all day with a mask on and like can't even have any contact with her teacher or her friends, which I can't even picture how you could keep that. Even if you have 15 kids in a class, like not touching each other and near each other, like I can't even fathom how that would look. I could see with like junior high school, like if it gets really bad, I mean, I have the privilege that I could homeschool them. So like, I know that I'm in a really lucky position, that I have that blessed position, that I have that option, but a lot of places that are much more vulnerable in this situation. So we're just sending out our love to everyone and like hoping everyone stays calm despite all the new developing news, and hoping and praying that either, you know, whatever it is. I don't think there's any situation where this virus is going to like mysteriously disappear. I think it's like here to stay. But, you know, there's been hopeful news. They haven't found a vaccine, but that's always within the realm of possibility over the next couple years. So just hoping for the best and sending you guys a lot of love. And honestly, I had no intention of talking about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, when I planned this video, I was like, Alyssa, you don't need to talk about it. Just keep it positive, keep it awesome, keep it entertaining, keep it real. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, in California, that, like, I'm from California. I'm not like like my husband. Oh, thanks, Mom. Love to you too. Like, my husband, he's from Pennsylvania. There's a lot of people in Los Angeles that are not from California. Honestly, in my circle of friends in Los Angeles, I have one mom friend that's from Santa Barbara, and that's it. So like, most of the people I know in LA are not from California, but those of us like from California, a really important part of our culture is like something that we call like keeping it real, keeping it like just down to earth, like not being too Hollywood, you know, and it's been a really hard balance for me because I am in Hollywood. I do want to work in entertainment. And that's so like, you know, maybe seems contrived and, you know, not real, but I have the privilege to have this channel, and as long as I'm within certain parameters and I don't, thanks, Mom, and I don't do anything like crazy, like, you know, start like doing, I don't even want to say the things that I could do, because I feel like now everything I say is transcribed, and out of context it could be taken the wrong way. Basically what I'm saying is I am able to keep it real. I am able to stay true to my roots as a Californian, and I don't know if it'll trend. I don't know if anyone will find this channel, but I get to do it anyway. So it's a pretty special thing, and I'm thankful to YouTube to allow so many people to create, even though we may not have a platform. Like, if it is Hollywood, you have to pitch your show, and if people don't find that it will make, that if it's not a proven model, like if there wasn't another successful, if there wasn't another successful California girl vlogger, they'd be like, I don't see it. But like, if they see that it could make money, then it's like, sure, we'll give you a team of people. So it's like, I don't need to go through, my husband's a producer, like he has to go through this really long process before he can get a project off the ground. And it's so many different variables along the way, or it can fall apart. Where I can just be like, I've got a camera and my kids are playing iPad for an hour, so I can make videos. So it's like really such a special thing that I really, really enjoy doing. So thank you to everyone that's been watching. I've been making videos on a more regular basis and trying to figure out how YouTube works, and it's working. So it's like so great to see it grow. It's a lot of work for just a little bit of growth, but I do see it happening exponentially. So I feel like if I just stay the course, and for my mom and Vanessa who are here right now, I know that you have a lot of things going on. I know like, yes, you're in quarantine, but like my mom's working full time. Vanessa, you have your neighbors, you've got, the care of your life and the kiddos that you care about. And it's like, so I get that it takes a lot to take time for a long like live video, and I wouldn't do these except people really do watch the playback, and it seems that these videos get more views overall. So I just am like, oh, well, it's working. Hopefully more people are able to join live, and if either of you, if there's a time that works better, just send me a text and be like, hey, mornings are better, or maybe a different day. Thanks, Vanessa. I really appreciate it. I'm going to move on to other brighter things. So before I got into this whole discussion, I was talking about how to tie the homemade fabric mask. Mom, you were at my house for Mother's Day, and we did it, and it was just something, it was like a light bulb moment where we were tying our mask, and I'm like, people might want to know how to do this. This is really super helpful. So really quick, we just shot it, and I finally posted it yesterday. And I don't know if anyone's going to find it, but I found the technique really helpful, and I'm using it on the kids, and it's great. So that happened. I finally did a morning routine video. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I felt like it was a lot of work, and I don't really know. You wore it that way Tuesday, and it works. Yes. I'm so happy to hear that. It works for me too. Like eventually I think I will get like commercial like mask. Like right now I'm probably, when this is over, I'm gonna pre-order, if they're still available. Disney's making some masks, and there's like a pack of 4 for $20. They're pretty affordable. They're not available until like the earliest is the end of July. So but my hope is if we get them in time to go to the parks, it might make it a little more fun if the kids have like a character mask that they can put on that they get to pick. Excuse me. So I am going to start buying commercial masks, but in the meantime, it's nice to know that we can comfortably use the fabric mask. And like so many people, fun, my mom said, so many people are making these masks, so I would hate for them to just sit in people's drawers and like not get used. So hopefully my video helps. I don't know. May it like find the people, may the algorithm figure it out and send it out there. Then we went up to the Sequoia National Forest. We actually went to see a tree that's called Stag Tree. It's the tallest tree in private ownership currently. It will hopefully become a part of the National Forest. And it's not that far. It's like an hour drive from where I'm at here at my family's citrus ranch. And so often we're here and we just love being here, and we don't really get in the car. So it was like great to go up there. Mom, Jessie, had never seen any of the sequoias, and neither had my kids or Domino. She came along too. It was probably a mistake because she was getting all dirty and there's ticks, and I keep checking her for ticks. She's fine. She'll be fine. But she's not really, she's a city dog. Like, she's not exactly like a country. I'm actually, yeah, so the roads were so windy. Both Domino and Raleigh threw up. That did not make the video because, like, often when I make videos, it's like I don't want to over dramatize like things that don't really apply. Like, I just wanted to make it a fun video, taking people up to the sequoias to see this amazing tree. I know, it all worked out. Raleigh and I also had to pee on the trail, so I had to like take 10 minutes to like teach her how to pee and like outdoors, which is an important lesson for every girl. So I didn't realize how complicated it was. Like, it took a minute to like explain it to her so she didn't like pee on herself. It was so cute. Anyways, we were alone out there. There were actually like 2 other people on the trail, and like I wonder if they like held back because they heard me like telling, because like right when we were done, they came up the trail. They're like, oh, finally we can like pass now. Anyways, but it was so much fun, and I learned a lot that I didn't know. So I didn't realize sequoias are redwoods. We did not make that connection. So the whole video I had to cut out bits where I'm like, I don't know why it says the Redwood Society on the sign. Maybe because, you know, they handle all of the big trees. Like, we didn't realize that sequoias are redwoods. They're a varietal of redwoods that are particular to this forest. So they're really important trees. They're really big trees. They're gorgeous. Definitely like a drier environment than the redwoods up in Northern California by Eureka, up in that area. My mom can tell you all about that if she wants to comment. So my husband had seen redwoods up there because my brother went to Humboldt State, and we visited him a few times and went out to the redwoods, and it was just, oh, you guys, it's gorgeous. Like, when you're out there, you feel like fairies are real. It's just like, so my mom knows. And Vanessa, have you ever had a chance, like, if you're coming to California, I know it's off the beaten path, I know it's really hard to get to and you have to rent a car, but if you could see redwoods, there's nothing like it. The forest is so remote, it's so still. It's just really such a magical, mystical experience. Yeah, my mom said majestic. Yes, fairyland. Yes, it's fairyland. And that reminds me that, okay, so I posted the video about making the mask, and the algorithm's getting so smart that now it can, like, you haven't ever, oh, Vanessa, yes, you must. If you ever like road trip back out here, or if you want to go with us, like, definitely, let's make it happen if you come back to California. If you could meet me here and we could go up really easily. It was like an easy day trip. It took like 3 hours. It's a really windy road again, so that was not great, but other than the car sickness. Oh, my mom said, oh, Vanessa, gotta go. If in California, let me know. I'll go. Yeah, so my mom's offering to go. I'm offering to go. So if you come out here, definitely put it on your bucket list. It is a windy, scary road. Like, it's narrow and it drops off, like just a sheer cliff all the way down to the ravine most of the trip. So that was a little nerve-wracking. I'm afraid of heights. Vanessa's like, yes, I will. We can all go. Yes. I feel a video in the making, and this time, you guys, I'm going to get better footage. So I have a new camera. I'll just show it to you guys. I brought it out so I could share it. Here, just one sec, ladies. Okay. So I have this camera. This camera, my mom probably remembers it. It's from our London trip. That's what I got it for. Oh, I'm so afraid of heights. I feel like in a past life I must have fallen because I am terrified. The whole time I'm like, I cut it out of the video, but I'm like telling Jesse how scared I am, and I'm like looking over the edge, and I'm like, it's scary, you know, it's really dangerous. And there's not many guardrails, and it is really narrow, so you have to be very, very careful. And Jesse driving up the mountain, he got car sick driving, and he's like, this is the first time I've ever been car sick driving a car. So that's how windy it is. So we just took it really easy. There's really not many people on the road because of the quarantine, so it was pretty sparse traffic-wise, so that's good. It made it a little safer. So this camera, this Sony camera, my friend Farouk, actually, he suggested I get it way back when, and it's still a pretty solid camera. The lens broke. I don't know. I think you ladies might have seen my video about getting this new lens. And this lens, honestly, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Like, listen to this. If you listen. Like when it goes in and out, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Can you hear that? Anyways, it's really loud. So if I'm recording and you hear that, it like ruins the shot. So I'm trying to like pick, oh wait, there, that really, and I've already like banged it like 3 different times. So I feel like it's just gonna, like, we bought this lens. It was only $100, but I feel like it's gonna last like a week. Yeah, it's sounding really funky right now, actually. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyways, so I try to pick a focal length, but the cool thing about it is this flips up and I can like see the frame, and it's pretty wide angle, so I can shoot like this myself, like for vlogging and stuff. But it's like really shaky, so I'm not used to shooting with it. And when I shoot with my cell phone, for whatever reason, I don't know if there's like an internal image stabilizer, the shots come out really nice when I shoot with my phone. You're probably like, well, why use the camera? The reason I'm using this camera is because the sound out of the camera is a lot better than the sound from my cell phone, and the image quality for the vlogging is much better. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to use a combination of this with my cell phone, because I have the newer cell phone with the 3 lenses. So as long as I'm not doing the selfie camera, the other lenses are pretty good. So I didn't do that. So I shot the whole Sequoia hike with this, and like I'm holding Domino. The kids are yelling at me because they're like missing their screens. Jesse's in the background being like, hey, Declan, wait, turn around, like trying to get photographs, like yelling at me to stop filming, to take a photograph of me. Like, so it's just like, the footage is shaky. It's all over the place. So I get why like maybe some of my videos I have very little to work with, and like they may not get as many views as I would like, but like I'm trying. And if we go back, I will take more time. I will maybe not bring kids and a dog on the trail. So yeah, the working conditions and the shooting conditions were pretty challenging, but I think with like a nice soundtrack in the background, I think it'll work. Someone just joined us. I'm just talking about a video that I'm currently editing. It's the first video that I shot entirely with this Sony camera, and it's a hike up to the Sequoia National Forest, but I did have a lot of shooting challenges along the way. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it is what it is. So anyways, I'm up here in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and I was gonna maybe talk about some of the fruit we're picking, but I don't know how like interesting that is to people. I was super excited when I found out that the loquats here in my grandmother's garden are really high in vitamin. Okay, so now it's getting a little inappropriate. Vanessa, I don't know if you want to like mute him, but anyways, so the loquats are really high in vitamin A and in fiber. So I was telling, yeah, oligarchs are someone just came in, they're like, I'm an oligarch. Yeah, oligarchs are really having a pretty good time of it right now, I won't lie. It's quite interesting what's happening in the world. But anyways, so Vanessa, or I was telling Vanessa, but Mom, I know you just joined, loquats, I don't know, I'm on my phone, Vanessa, I don't know if you want to, wait, I'm just gonna put him in timeout. Okay. So anyways, that's so cute. Okay, so the timeout is 300 seconds. So let's see if Laura Jacob Rothschild can get his act together. Because I'm not about like, I won't kick people out. Like I will talk to almost anyone. But if you're like getting like a bit into yourself and how funny you are, and it's like becomes inappropriate, that's okay, Vanessa. Don't worry about it. He's like, I'm an oligarch, and he said some other inappropriate things that I will not repeat. But anyways, so what's really cool about the loquats that are just off of this balcony in the garden is, and I was talking about it earlier, is, and I don't think you were here, Mom, I was looking up their medicinal like properties back, you know, like in more traditional holistic medicine. They are used in the managing, hi Jonathan, good to see you, thank you for coming by. They are used in managing diabetes. So I was just telling them, Jonathan, that grandma's loquat tree in the garden here is just like exploding with loquats, and I was picking them and I was like thinking of like making things out of them, and then I looked up the loquats and it turns out like people use them to manage blood sugar levels. And wait, I can figure this out this time. I'll just do that again. I think these people came as a pair. Anyways, so anyways, I'm really excited. So far, Raleigh refuses to eat them. This is my daughter who's 4 who has type 1 diabetes and celiac disease. She's refusing to eat them. I made a couple cobblers. I made like a loquat crumble that was pretty good, but I haven't quite gotten it. It's like they're different from apples when you bake them, so I haven't quite figured it out yet. But I made one that was gluten-free. She refused to try it. So then I just made one with the gluten and I ate it. And then I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try to like cook them down and make like an applesauce type sauce out of them. They're so good. Oh my gosh, Vanessa, if you were here, I would bring so many to you. I have like a big box and they're going to rot. There's no way I can use them all because they are pretty small and there's quite a bit of pit. So you have to do a lot of prep and like cutting to get just a little bit of fruit. I love it. My brother just said, hi, Mom. The whole family's here. You had them in Los Olivos? Oh, that's so great. Soon you will all be chipped. A lot of people are trying to engage in, I should just kick them out. A lot of people are trying to engage in like conspiracy theory type stuff. I don't even want to talk about it because now YouTube has this policy where if you talk about like disinformation or spread misinformation at all, like they will flag your channel. So I'm not even gonna go there. Like it's just it's not helpful, it's not productive. I think people aren't really being responsible. So I think there's probably people going through and trolling live chats trying to engage people in behavior that is not accepted by like the YouTube policies. So so I'm not going to engage. I know, I could make loquat marmalade, totally. I could, except it sounds like so time consuming. I don't have jars. I don't know how to properly like seal them. I think you need like a big enough, like my sister-in-law, she does jamming and she like has one of those contraptions that you like lower in to like seal the jars in the boiling water, and it just, watching her do that, I was just like, oh, that looks like a little more than I want to take on at this point. But I think like it'd be really easy to, well, not easy, but if I cut up a bunch of them and I cook them down into like an applesauce type texture, I think that could be pretty easy, and I could just make like, you know, a week's worth. And if she's into it, then next year maybe I could like actually like seal them properly, know that, okay, here's loquat season. So I'm curious, Vanessa, did your loquat tree, the one that you had in Los Olivos, did it only produce fruit for 2 weeks out of the year? Because my brother-in-law and his girlfriend were saying the reason you don't really see loquats in the store is because they just they don't produce for a long amount of time. Like the tree will only really bear fruit for like 2 weeks of the year. Is that true? And I don't know, I feel like maybe I could find them at like a fancy grocery store like Erewhon or something, but apparently there's no market and people don't really farm them. Yeah, you don't remember? I remember as a kid, and I talked about this last week because I got into the whole fruit discussion. Like I ate so much fruit. I don't know if you remember, Mom, but like I would just sit under our neighbor's cherry tree for hours. When those cherries were in season, I'd just sit there eating cherries until I got sick. It was like the best ever. That was like, oh my gosh, I loved it. It was so good. Anyways, yeah, I had a fruit thing. Anyways, and I did that with the apricot tree down the street too. And I swear that's why I'm allergic to apricots now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh, I was thinking of doing like a ranch. Yeah, my mom said yes, and we had fruit trees. Remember apples, etc. Yes, I remember the apple trees. So when those were in season, I remember getting a paper bag and I would go out to the apple tree. I'd fill the paper bag. I'd go into the kitchen. I would make an apple crumble or apple crisp, whatever you want to call it. I'd eat it, and then I'd just go do the whole thing. That was like my Saturday, just like picking apples, making apple crisp, and eating it, and like repeat. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Okay. Excuse me. Hi! We're talking fruit again. Surprise, surprise. Thanks for coming by. I completely messed up, you guys. Like, this was supposed to be, this week my plan was 2:30, so, and you would eat the entire crisp. Yes, and then I would go and do it again. Like, I didn't do it all the time, but like, I remember at least one Saturday that was like my entire Saturday. It's a very distinct memory. Yeah, that's why I kind of wish my kids did have a yard. Like, they're not really accustomed to going outside, living in a condo, and even here at the ranch, we kind of have to pry them off their screens and be like, we're going outside, and they're like, ooh, afraid of bugs. And so, you know, it's good to be out here and at least once in a while, like, take them out. I'm taking Declan with me. I'm going to head down to the golf course and try to make a video about that, because there's not a lot you can do in California that's outside, but I remember my garden. That's right. I did have, in high school, I had a gorgeous garden, and now that I live in the city, I realize that I took it for granted. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I hate apple because when I eat it triggers my hunger. I can see that. They're not very filling. You're supposed to feel full with fruit. Yeah, it's not a very, like, you can eat an apple. I could see how. I like to eat apple with peanut butter. I think that's really good. Yeah, I had this garden, you guys. It was huge. And I didn't really, I don't know. Like, it was just, like, when you have something as a kid, you're like, I'm always going to have a garden, or I don't know. Now it like seems like pretty awesome to have a garden, because I just have like a patio with a few succulents, you know, which is plenty because gardens are work. I did plant flowers around it. It was a pretty special space, I won't lie. Like, that garden grew huge. That was a fun year. That was the year I homeschooled in high school, and I did a lot of fun stuff. At this rate, I won't be surprised if my kids are homeschooled next year, but we'll see, knock on wood. Things open up. They're going to be like, is she knocking? Is she okay? So anyway, so I'm going to head out to the golf course with my son. We're going to try to make like a golf video, which I think could be fun, just kind of showing people like how it works. Golf courses have opened up here in California. I'm assuming I'll wear a mask like to go in, like if you check in, or if you're like, you know, at the turn, like when you go back in, if you get, I don't know if they have any food service. This is a pretty small course. We're out here in Springville, California. It's a little retirement community. I think some people, like, there's some cute homes on the golf course. It's a public course. My husband played it last week and said it was just gorgeous. So I'm going to go and ride along, and we'll take Declan with us, and just, I'm not going to golf. I'm just going to like film them golfing and have fun and hopefully get a video out of it. There's not a lot of things I can make videos out of, so I'm trying to get creative so I can like keep things light and entertaining and fun for you guys. I was also thinking it would be really, oh wait, someone commented I can't, oh, they detracted it, so maybe they had a typo or something, but I was also thinking it would be really fun. I've done it before, but I feel like now that I understand a little more about YouTube and why certain YouTube videos work and why some don't, I was thinking I could do a ranch house tour, because this house is so amazing. My grandparents built it in the 90s, and it's pretty special. I don't know how long we'll have it, because it is technically for sale, but there haven't been many interested buyers. We're pretty far out here in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and there's not a lot that's nearby. I think Bakersfield, the bugs are moving in. I think Bakersfield's about an hour from here, so that gives you an idea. It's only 3 hours from Los Angeles, so it could be like a weekend thing, or like, I don't know, a vacation spot, but it's a lot of work because it's a citrus ranch, so I think that detracts people. Is it hot there today? No, it's pretty nice actually. It's if you really wanted to go swimming in the pond, you could. My dad and Joni, they jumped in and enjoyed it. But it's not hot. It's not hot. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. So let's see. I was thinking of doing that. I thought that would be fun. It might be kind of tricky because there's a lot of people here, so I don't know if they'll want me like going through the house making a video, but maybe I can make it happen before we head out. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of what's going on. I just really appreciate everyone that's coming by and everyone that's watching the playback. It's, you know, it's kind of tricky starting up this channel again because I get that no one really knows who I am. Most of the people that watch because I can see all the analytics, so I would say out of all my views, I'm getting a lot of views, but I would say like 95% of my views are people that are just searching for stuff and it was just maybe a suggested video, so they don't really know anything about me. And so I just really appreciate like all the subscribers that have checked back in, because I know I wasn't really like here on a regular basis, so I appreciate you guys, and it really means a lot. Like, it's very significant to me because, again, like, just kind of starting this from scratch at like a really awkward time. Like, again, my plan was to like go to Disneyland or Universal Studios. Thanks, Mom. My mom says thumbs up. You know, like, to do really fun, exciting, super Cali things, and instead I'm sitting at a house and just kind of talking to you about life and staying positive and like trying not to freak out about like the whole world changing very rapidly because of this. Being in someone's recommendation tab is quite hard. I mean, at least I'm there. Like, the more I do this, the more I get recommended. So I am seeing things like pick up, which is really, really great. But yeah, I mean, they don't know me. Like, I'm just some random face and voice. And so like the people that have been here for a while or are maybe like coming back, like I really, really appreciate you guys. And if you comment, like I'll know who you are. And these videos have been getting some views, so I only can think that they're people that know me, because these videos aren't really like targeting any specific like search term. Like, a lot of my videos, like, say it's about like how to tie a mask, like I have to be very specific about how I tag it and hope that it's suggested to people that are looking for that kind of video. So that's a very different thing from these live videos, which is just a chance for me to like talk to you guys in real time, see how you're doing, tell you about videos that I'm working on. And yeah, just like I try to like read all the comments and ignore the weirdos that kind of, I mean, honestly provide a little bit of entertainment. Like, what's a live video if a troll doesn't stop in and like tell you like really disgusting things? I mean, you're just not living. So thank you to the trolls, I guess I'm saying, for making me feel like enough people are watching this that also have no idea who I am. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Sorry, I accidentally started way before. Nature of live video be like, yeah, it's just the nature of it for sure. And honestly, I don't care. Like, you have a bug in your hair? Of course I do. Oh my gosh, you guys, is it out? Or are you just messing with me? I honestly can't see because it's pretty bright out here, and I don't know, Vanessa was telling me, because last week you could hear my voice the entire time, and like every 10 seconds my face is like, you know, like frozen in some weird position, like I'm rolling my eyes or whatever. So I don't know if this is even working, but I moved to the patio because it seemed to be like a little more consistent. I don't know if like one of you can tell me if it's even been working. Now I'm like all itchy. I'm like, where's the bug? You probably didn't even see a bug. Anyways, so okay, so speaking of bugs before I go, and I might, okay, so I'm on Instagram. It's just like at SuperCaliListic. It's been working. Yay, it's been better. Yay. Okay, it won't be, you don't see a bug, funny. It will be easier for me to watch the playback if it's not like freezing. It drives me crazy when there's technical issues, so good. I'm so glad. And thank you again. If I end this, I don't know, like I think there's a little delay, so if I don't get a chance to say proper goodbye, then I'm saying it in advance just in case. Thank you, you guys, again. I know I keep saying that, but that's because I really am so appreciative of people that show up and engage and like chat with me and give me a reason to live. No, I'm just kidding. I'm good, you guys, really. I'm fine. I don't need YouTube validation, thank God. That would be really hard. No, this is fun, and I'm glad we're doing this. What I was going to say is, speaking of bugs, there was this spider in the bathroom here. I kid you not. Okay, it was the size of a really big tarantula, but it was not a tarantula. And I did shoot video of it. It was so big, I felt it was inappropriate to kill it because it felt like it was a valid animal. Like, it didn't feel like just a little spider. It felt like it had a soul. It was so big. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with you because you seem like too big of an animal to like squash, you know? But it was also scary enough where I was like, I'm gonna let you chill and I'm gonna go in the other bathroom until you decide to crawl away to wherever you came from. And I didn't feel comfortable like capturing it. I think it was fine. I've never seen a spider that big in my life. And I've even been to the spider pavilion at the Natural History Museum, and even those spiders were pretty big, and this one was still like significantly bigger. There's a lot happening at the ranch like that. Like every day it's like, oh, there's scorpions, or like there's dead like baby scorpions in the light, or like my cousin, when we first got here, was like, we've been seeing rattlesnakes. We got one of them. I don't know. I think it just like crawled into one of the vents. I've never seen a spider so big. I did videotape it. And what I was going to say is maybe I'll just put that clip on my Instagram because I don't think it's enough of a video to like post a whole YouTube video about it, but like it happened. And so the shorter clips, sometimes I try to put them on Instagram, just like short little tidbits and like in the moment. It's definitely like a faster thing and I can do it like quicker. So if you want to check out SuperCaliListic on Instagram, I try to post. Yes, I have seen crocodiles. Okay, wait. Crocodiles are freshwater and alligator. I can never get them straight. Like one's like saltwater and one's freshwater. But yes, because we actually, in fact, I don't know if I ever made a video because it felt so inappropriate, but we go to Florida almost every year because my husband's family will meet them at a place called Captiva Island because they have a timeshare there and it's off the coast of Florida, like in the Gulf of Mexico. I think they're both really big. I think it's like there's subtle differences, like one's saltwater and one's freshwater. So whichever's the freshwater, I've seen a lot of those because they have them in the swamplands of Florida, and I think it's crocodiles. And so you go on those boat tours and you actually, you know, look for crocodiles and then like afterwards you eat them. And like we did the whole thing and I did shoot a video, but then when I was like looking at the video, I was like, this just feels like really wrong. I don't know. It just felt like really cruel, you know, this idea that they like, you look for them in the water. Yeah, so my mom said you saw them as a kid, and she saw them as a kid in Louisiana, and you're saying eat them, OMG. Yeah, you totally do. And then so you go into the restaurant, but the ones that you eat are farmed, so they farm them, and it has to be like FDA approved. Oh, pine cone just fell. Yeah, well, I didn't. Like, I didn't, because like, okay, so this is how it works. This is good. I'm going to keep talking. So I officially did not taste them. My husband and his brother did. I'm guessing it tasted like chicken. Like, doesn't everything, like, Mom, when we were kids, we ate rattlesnake at one of those, like, touristy places in the southwest, I think. And it was, like, crunchy chicken. My mom said I had alligator soup, didn't really like it. Yeah, so I think for me, like, the thought of eating a crocodile outweighs enjoying it. So I had a beer, and I did not eat the crocodile. But we did order crocodile, so like it would have been in the video, and because here's how the video would have gone. So we pull up. It was a really hot day. We got there middle of the day, which is not a good time for seeing crocodiles because they don't come out. They come out in the morning and the evening. So we take this boat ride. The guy driving the boat is like smoking a cigarette. Probably don't want to use that in a video. He was super cool, like driving around, like doing like donuts in the water, and it was really beautiful. It was really fun. And then we didn't see any crocodiles, but then you go and see a crocodile. It's like everyone gets to hold me and take a picture. And then you go into this like tiny little dingy tourist trap of a shack. He says, I can eat almost every part of beef, but alligators, no way. I wonder why not alligators. Anyways, I don't feel like I felt a little bit of empathy because here we're holding the babies. The other ones are like in their cages as like tourist attraction. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You start off by getting to see different crocodiles in their like corrals, and then they do this show where they tell you about them and they tell you the history of the different crocodiles, and you know, like their mating history. Like one of them is alone because he like attacked the other male, or like wasn't getting along with the woman. They got like a divorce. It's like all they like dramatize their relationships. So, and then you hold snakes, and then you go on the tour, and then you hold a baby crocodile, and then you eat them. So it was like, so I didn't ever make the video because I was like, I don't know, this is, but now actually I have so little like to produce, maybe I will, like what the heck, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel bad about doing it. It was just like one of those touristy things you do in Florida. I mean, I felt a little bad that they farm them. Like, I almost think it would be better to just kill them in the wild, but that's not how it works. The ones that are in the wild are protected, and then there's ones that are farmed for, specifically for eating. So, it's like frogs, you know? Frogs are same deal when you eat a frog. Ice cold activity. Like, we're ice cold, like cold as ice is sad. Why not kiss a lion? Kissing Leon? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I mean, look, when you play tourist, you definitely do things that sometimes you're like, huh. Like, when I was in Spain as a college student, I went to a bullfight in Seville. And 8 bulls later, as I'm sitting there at my first bullfight, I was like, this just doesn't feel ethical. Like, these bulls don't stand a chance. They're really kind of tortured through the whole process, and it just, apparently it wasn't a very, like, people were booing because it wasn't exciting, like, it didn't feel dangerous, like, it was too easy. The bulls didn't put up enough of a fight, so I was just kind of feeling numb and disturbed by the end of it, but, yeah, so I don't know, it's so hard with these cultural things that are part of the tradition of the place. I'm torn on it. I'm not like, I don't know, I know that some people really fight hard to like not consume any products that have any animal products. They're completely vegan and everything they do. Get that. When I saw a bullfight, yeah, my mom saw one in Spain. You were probably in college, so kind of a similar experience. But I'm also, I don't know, like I also get that there's certain cultural events that are really important for the people that that practice them. So I'm torn on it, to be honest with you. I'm not like strongly in one camp or the other. I'm very middle of the road, which I find to be like the hardest place to be. The anger bulls and running away from the streets, right? I've never done the running of the bulls. This is like, they bring the bulls into the ring and then they stab them. They keep stabbing them. So it's like the bulls are like kind of slowly tortured and weakened. So it's not what you think. Like, I thought it was literally going to be like a guy with a red cape and a bull like running at him. But like, they do a lot of things to the bull that feel really inhumane along the way before the matador actually comes out. So it's not a fair fight. And I guess that makes sense because it would probably be too dangerous to be out there with like a healthy, rambunctious bull. But one of my all-time favorite movies is definitely Ferdinand the Bull, because it's one of those rare instances where it's a pacifist story that I thought was a really sweet story. I think too often in our society, we really are so violent in our entertainment. And just last night, in fact, I was watching like a new game released by Nintendo, and I'm like a huge Nintendo fan. Like, my husband and I love Nintendo. We have the Switch. We have like an old Nintendo 64. We are really excited about like Nintendo Land at Universal Studios. Hopefully that happens in the next couple years. Like, we can't wait. But I also really don't love that so many of the games are just, it's just so violent. You know, it's like you solve your problems through violence. Like, my son is constantly playing Roblox, and I'm always getting in these discussions with him about how violence is a choice and you don't have to solve all your problems with violence. And it's hard because I can feel really outnumbered. I feel like it's not the popular Americans' way of entertainment is let's break this, let's explode, let's make huge cars, call them monster cars. Yeah, so I don't think I really saw it clearly until I was living in Spain, that the rest of the world really sees Americans as like incredibly violent because of our entertainment. So many big things. Yeah. So, but then when you're living here, you don't feel that you're that way. Like, so many of us take those movies for granted as just being like one form of entertainment, and so many of us in our day-to-day lives are incredibly kind and peaceful. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, and I think we do need to take more responsibility for our role in like being okay with violence, and like realizing that that's a choice, that we could make a more peaceful choice. And my mom's like, fortunately we have options as to what to watch, and we do have options. And what happens is a lot of us are not watching those movies, but what's happening, Mom, is in Spain or in Turkey and other parts of the world, in other parts of our world, like, that's all the movies that they see. So they may not get like as many of the movies that are the peaceful ones, like the big blockbuster, like Transformers, or, you know, the big, like, you know, action films are the one, yeah, are the ones that she said, I get that they see. And so then we as a society look that way to other people when we're not even aware that those parts of the world may view us as that way. So it's like, I don't think it's a branding thing. And women only sitting around doing cosmetic surgery. Yeah. And like women, yeah, like I can't even handle a lot of the movies. Like I'll be watching with my husband and I just have to get up and I walk out because I'm like it'll be like you know, Michael Mann film. He loves Michael Mann, by the way. So I get it. He's beautiful. He has beautiful films. He's a good filmmaker. But then it's like there's like one woman in the film and all she does is like sit on the couch doing nothing. And I'm like, I've never known a woman just sit on a couch and do nothing, like just waiting for a man to come home. Like never ever in the history of ever has that happened. Like women are active, women are doing stuff, women are busy, like they got stuff to do. They're not just sitting around like looking pretty. Like that's not. So I'm just like, how lazy do you have to be, or how much do you not understand women to write a woman like that? Like that's the only woman in your whole film. You don't think you could have like given her something to do? Is that 70, 80 American woman portrayed like that? Yeah, so like when I watch those movies, I'm just like, I just walk away. I'm like, I can't. Like I get that my husband likes the movie. I forget the movie now, just sitting on the couch. Or she has her own something to do, or family, or friends, or like girl, a cake that would have been better. Like she's really into baking cakes. Good for her. Like, oh, you're home? You know, like I don't know. But then we have the other extreme where we have like women's films, and it's like when are we gonna get to be people that just happen to be women, you know? So anyways, I'm not the mainstream, clearly. When will I learn? Yeah, real. So anyways, this has been fun. You guys, this has really been fun. You guys have been chatting it up and making this so much better because I'm having a little bit of a hard time right now because this has been going on for so long and I don't think it's going to end, and I get why, but it doesn't mean that it makes it any easier for those of us that are like, I don't want to talk about quarantine anymore, but that's still happening. So hey guys, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm gonna keep doing it, doing my thing, making videos, doing this live video. Thank you for coming by. I hope this time works. If there is a time or a day that you prefer, I would love to hear. Oh my gosh, of course. Like you guys, seriously, this is so fun for me. I look forward to this. It's more that I am aware of my... Oh, yes, have a great day. That's really sweet. I am aware that I have an obligation to make this entertaining, have something to talk about, like contribute, and I feel like today I just was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So thank you, because you guys, this was fun. It was fun talking about crocodiles. It was fun talking about Transformers and crazy movies that other people see that Americans aren't even aware is their image. So it was all really stimulating, and thank you for this. And Yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully things are super Cali. I'm not holding my breath, but all right, have a beautiful day, you guys. Bye.